Hollow Ridge was a town with secrets. Nestled in the valley, it lived under the constant shadow of Shadow Spine Mountain. The mountain loomed, a jagged silhouette against the evening sky. Locals whispered tales of its dark past, of battles fought and lives lost. They spoke of a curse that clung to its slopes, a malevolent presence that haunted its peaks. Shadow Spine Mountain was more than just a geographical landmark. It was a warning, a silent sentinel guarding secrets best left undisturbed. But for 5 friends, curiosity outweighed caution. They were drawn to the mountain's mystery, compelled to uncover the truth behind the legends. They were about to learn that some stories are best left untold.
All right, everyone, this is it. Let's do this. We've trained for months, and now it's time to put our skills to the test.
I've been waiting for this moment. The thrill of the unknown is calling. Every step we take brings us closer to uncovering the secrets of this mountain.
I still think this is all just a bunch of myths, but let's see what we find. Maybe we'll finally put those old stories to rest.
I can't shake off this feeling, like the mountain is watching us. It's as if it has eyes, hidden in the mist, observing our every move.
The history here is incredible. Imagine the stories buried in these rocks. Each artifact tells a tale of a time long past.
The friends gathered at the base of Shadow Spine, their faces etched with a mixture of excitement and apprehension. The air was thick with anticipation. There was Liam, the pragmatic leader, Emily, the adventurous one, Jake the skeptic, Chloe the sensitive soul, and Daniel the historian. Each brought a unique perspective to the journey. They had been friends since childhood, their bond forged in the heart of Hollow Ridge, their lives intertwined with the mountain's ominous presence. The mountain had always been a part of their story. Each had their reasons for undertaking the climb. Liam sought adventure, a break from the mundane. He needed to prove something to himself. Emily craved the thrill of the unknown. She lived for moments like these where the outcome was uncertain. Jake, ever the skeptic, was determined to debunk the myths. He wanted to see the truth behind the legends. Chloe felt an unsettling pull towards the mountain, a sense of foreboding mixed with fascination. It was as if the mountain called to her. And Daniel, a history enthusiast, was captivated by the stories of the battle that had stained Shadow Spine's soil red. He wanted to uncover the truth behind the legends. Little did they know this climb would test their friendship and their sanity. The mountain held secrets that would challenge everything they believed. The ascent was arduous. The air grew thin and cold as they climbed, each step heavier than the last. The mist enveloped them, making it hard to see more than a few feet ahead. The once vibrant foliage gave way to gnarled skeletal trees, their branches twisted and bare. It was as if the life had been drained from the forest, leaving behind only shadows of what once was. Strange symbols, etched into the rocks, appeared with increasing frequency. These markings seemed to tell a story, one that was lost to time but still echoed in the silence of the mountain. They were ancient markings, their meaning lost to time, but their presence sent shivers down their spines. Each symbol seemed to pulse with a forgotten energy, a reminder of a past long gone. The wind carried whispers to their ears, disembodied voices that seemed to emanate from the mountain itself. These whispers were faint, almost indistinguishable from the wind, yet they felt eerily real. They spoke of suffering and sorrow, of rage and despair. The voices seemed to tell tales of lost souls, trapped in the mountain's grasp, unable to find peace. The friends exchanged uneasy glances. Were their minds playing tricks on them, or was the mountain itself communicating its dark history? The uncertainty gnawed at their resolve, making each step forward more daunting. As night fell, casting long, eerie shadows across the mountainside, they set up camp, their hearts pounding with a mixture of fear and anticipation. The darkness seemed to close in around them, amplifying every sound, every whisper.
Did you hear that? It sounded like voices. The words hung in the air, heavy with dread.
Yes, the wind carried whispers to their ears, disembodied voices that seemed to emanate from the mountain itself. The whispers grew louder, more insistent, as if trying to convey a message. They spoke of suffering and sorrow, of rage and despair. The voices seemed to weave a tapestry of emotions, each thread more haunting than the last. The friends exchanged uneasy glances. Were their minds playing tricks on them, or was the mountain itself communicating its dark history? The weight of the unknown pressed heavily on their shoulders. As night fell, casting long, eerie shadows across the mountainside, they set up camp, their hearts pounding with a mixture of fear and anticipation. The fire's glow offered little comfort against the encroaching darkness, and the whispers continued, relentless and haunting. The next day, the landscape transformed before their very eyes. Gone were the trees, replaced by a desolate expanse of rock and scrub. The once lush and vibrant scenery had turned into a barren wasteland, devoid of life and color. The air grew heavy with a palpable sense of dread, as if the very atmosphere was thick with the weight of forgotten sorrows and unspoken fears. They stumbled upon rusted weapons half buried in the earth, remnants of a battle long ago. These relics of war told silent stories of bravery and despair, of lives lost and battles fought. As dusk settled, the temperature plummeted, casting an eerie twilight over the desolate battlefield. The cold seemed to seep into their very bones, chilling them to the core. A bone-chilling wind whipped across the mountain, carrying with it the ghostly echoes of screams and the clang of metal against metal. Then they saw them, shadowy figures moving in the mist. Spectral figures emerged from the swirling mist, their forms indistinct but their anguish palpable. These were not mere shadows, they were the restless spirits of fallen soldiers. They were soldiers, their eyes burning with a cold fire, their bodies bearing the wounds of a forgotten war. Each ghostly figure seemed to carry the weight of their untold stories.
Look, over there, do you see them? Their presence is undeniable and their sorrow is almost tangible.
The friends watched in terror as the ghostly battalion marched past, their ethereal forms fading in and out of existence. It was as if they were caught in an endless loop of their final moments. They were trapped on a battlefield haunted by the ghosts of the past, and the line between reality and nightmare blurred with every passing moment. The haunting presence of these spectral soldiers made it clear that the past was not ready to let go.
They pressed on, driven by a mixture of fear and morbid curiosity.
The path led them to a clearing where the ground dipped sharply inward.
It was a mass grave, a testament to the battle's ferocity.
The air hung heavy with the stench of death.
As they stood at the precipice, a sense of overwhelming sorrow washed over them.
Look, over there, a narrow opening in the rock face. It looks like a cave, its entrance shrouded in shadow.
Inside, they discovered a cavern, its walls adorned with more strange symbols.
In the center lay a stone pedestal, upon which rested a leather-bound scroll.
The scroll, Ryan realized with a jolt, was a chronicle of the battle, a tale of betrayal and revenge that culminated in a curse upon those who dared disturb the mountain's peace.
As I read the final words of the scroll aloud, the cavern began to tremble.
The ground shook violently, the air crackled with energy.
The ghostly soldiers, their forms now solidified and enraged, emerged from the shadows, their eyes fixed upon the terrified friends.
They had awakened a vengeful force, and now they were paying the price.
The cavern began to collapse around them, rocks raining down from the ceiling. They scrambled for the entrance, their hearts pounding in their chests.
The ghostly soldiers closed in, their spectral blades raised, their cries for vengeance echoing through the collapsing cavern.
Liam, ever the leader, rallied his friends. They had to escape, had to get off this cursed mountain.
They ran, their lungs burning, their legs screaming for respite, the ghostly horde hot on their heels. They emerged from the cave into the chaos of the collapsing mountainside. The ground buckled and heaved beneath their feet.
They scrambled over boulders, their eyes darting back and forth between the treacherous path ahead and the spectral soldiers gaining on them.
The ghostly soldiers were relentless, their forms flickering in and out of existence, their icy grip reaching for the fleeing friends.
Just when they thought all hope was lost, they spotted the path they had taken earlier. They surged forward, adrenaline coursing through their veins, the ghostly cries of the soldiers echoing behind them.
They didn't stop running until they reached the relative safety of the lower slopes, the sounds of the collapsing mountain fading behind them.
They had escaped with their lives, but they would never be the same. They stumbled back into Hollow Ridge, their clothes torn, their faces pale and drawn. They were forever marked by their encounter with the supernatural.
Their youthful exuberance was replaced by a newfound respect for the mountain and the secrets it held.
They tried to explain what they had seen, what they had experienced, but words failed them. How do you describe the indescribable? How do you convey the terror of facing an army of the dead?
Their stories were met with skepticism and disbelief, dismissed as the ramblings of traumatized youths. But they knew the truth. They had looked into the abyss, and the abyss had looked back. Life in Hollow Ridge resumed its normal rhythm, but the mountain continued to cast a long shadow over the town. The friends carried the weight of their experience, the chilling memories forever etched into their minds. They knew that some things cannot be unseen, some stories cannot be untold. And Shadowspine Mountain, it stood silent and imposing, its jagged peaks piercing the sky. It had claimed countless souls over the centuries, and it would claim countless more. It was a reminder that some places are best left undisturbed, that some curses can never be broken. For Shadowspine Mountain never forgot, and it never forgave.